Hi everyone! In this video I'm going to be answering the question, how do you get your dog to do heel work even when there are high-level distractions? Say for example you're in a city and there's lots of stuff going on in the environment, skateboards going by, people passing, or you're at a park and dogs are loose and playing or barking and kids are throwing balls and your dog wants to join in, or you're at the beach and your dog really would like to jump in the ocean or chase the seagulls. How do you get your dog to want to do heel work with all this stuff going on in the environment? So I was asked this yesterday as a comment, and I thought it would be a great idea to make a video of my answer. And it's not so much about each behavior. You have to then go and proof and generalize and work on all these different distractions with each behavior. It's more that you teach your dog the concept of wanting to train with you, wanting to play with you in these distracting environments. The first step to teaching your dog to do stuff for you is seeing if you can get your dog to want to play with you in the environments that are distracting for your dog. So if you have a dog that wants to play with you, then you have all the power in the world. So I would first begin with the easiest behaviors in these distracting environments, but also, even before getting to the easy behaviors, I do actually have a video, and I'll link it in the description below, of just going to these environments and just working on a settle. So you're teaching your dog to relax and settle and get treats and just simply do nothing while these things are going on. When you can get a dog that can relax in an environment where there's the sea, the birds, the enticing dogs, and the children playing, and your dog can just relax on a mat, wow, it's going to be so easy to get your dog to want to work with you in these distracting environments. So first beginning with just relaxing on a mat, then doing little behaviors. Maybe you ask for a little bit of attention, you play attention games, go back to the mat, and the video below, you can check that out. So you're basically teaching your dog that they can just relax and ignore these distractions out and about, and check out the video that says calm settle, because that is how to teach your dog to relax on the mat, and I'll link that below. And so you're basically teaching your dog to be okay with all these things going on, even if you're not training. So there is the possibility, if you have a dog that's really driven for food or toys, that as soon as you're working for food or toys, the toy trumps or the food trumps everything else in the environment and you have 100% of your dog's attention. There are some dogs that are like that. But as soon as the toy goes away, then their interest is diverted. Or perhaps you have a dog that has an interest in novelty toys, so if they see another dog playing with a toy, that might distract your dog away from working with you. So it's really important, if you want reliable behavior, to work on the distractions so that they aren't these extreme things for your dog to have to ignore in order to work for you. So it's more about, say if you had a dog that was really worried about dogs, if you're asking them to do heel work for something they want and they have this worry about something in the environment, there's this conflict. So I suggest working on counter conditioning and teaching your dog to trust you that these things in the environment aren't going to bother them while they're not working, doing just a settle and getting to look around. And then when your dog's comfortable, then you can add the behaviors of asking for heel work or tricks or any sorts of behaviors that you wish to do with your dog in public. Here's a very simple plan for success. Whatever behaviors you want to do in public, you work on them in your house and build that reinforcement history. 100% of the dog's interest is in earning the reinforcement that you have, and nothing is distracting them. So you're building and conditioning your dog to hear the cue and 100% want to do the behavior. And what's going to happen is the cue is going to start to become a secondary reinforcement, and the dog's going to go, yes, I love hearing that. And the behavior is going to start to become a secondary reinforcer. And the dog is going to want to do the behavior. Where if you try to train the behaviors in distracting environments, the conditioning is going to be watered down and muddy. It's going to be hard to know if the dog is 100% wanting to do that behavior, or if they're conflicted or stressed, so the reinforcement isn't as powerful as it would be if you're in a non-distracting environment. So I really suggest building those behaviors in your house. That's why you always see me with my dogs in my living room or my training room working on those behaviors and building them to be strong, proofing with distractions inside the house before then moving outside. So one big secret to getting your dog to ignore distractions outside the house is creating a distraction in your house that's hard for them. So a bowl of food, they ignore the bowl of food and then they're released to the bowl of food, or they never get the bowl of food. Work with toy distractions, work with people, family members that they have to ignore, that are maybe talking to them going, hi, puppy, 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 or whatever you want in the house. So you're building that concept of ignore the distraction, earns the reinforcement. Another wonderful thing is if you have a distraction you can bring, say for example, the bowl of food that was in your living room, when you place it into the park and you start doing the same game that you did at home, I promise you that a lot of dogs will forget about the other stuff in the environment and start really concentrating on leaving the thing that they worked on at home. So that can actually build your dog's attention on you by bringing the distraction from home to the park for them to focus on rather than the other distractions in the environment. For duration behaviors or complex behaviors, I suggest adding a lot of criteria when you're in your house, and then when you go to the park, you ask for just a little bit. Just the beginning of the behavior. Go back to basics when you're at the park. And what it's going to teach your dog is that when they're out and about, things get easier and more fun. And then you build on that. So if you want to go back to building duration, you can do that in your living room and then go back to the park and add on it. Or go back to the city streets and add on it. Here's footage of Epic, my Chihuahua, when she was a puppy. And you can see we're working on exercises that we worked on in our home, in our yard, before then bringing them to the park, and you can see her motivation and interest in wanting to work because she already knows the behaviors from when she worked on them in a non-distracting environment. Let's go. Good. Let's go. Good. Little puppy. Come forward. Good. Let's go. Good. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yay. Woohoo. If you have a dog that's not even taking treats or playing with toys outside, you can be working on all these behaviors and proofing inside your house, and at the same time going on outings with your dog to get them used to being out and about and just relaxing out and about, and then doing very basic things like paying attention to you or playing attention games out and about, and just some loose leash walking out and about and sniffing around out and about and getting used to being out without fixating on distractions in the environment. So that is the plan. You work on the behaviors at home, build their strength, build your dogs, build them to be secondary reinforcers, do some proofing, and then work on the things that your dog is distracted by. Either they're excited or they're worried about, and you're teaching your dog to be confident and calm and be able to listen to you around these distractions, and then you combine the two. So you can work on any behaviors you wish to get your dog to want to do them out and about. I hope this video was helpful for your training. If you'd like to support my work, don't forget to like this video, leave me a comment as it's highly reinforcing, and subscribe to this channel for more free professional dog training videos that show you how you can train your dog without the use of physical or psychological intimidation. See you later.